So have you guys ever done a, actually edited a monkey survey before? Okay, so I'm editing live because this is the survey that I'm going to send out to you guys, but I need to have a positive question first. And so I'm adding the positive thing. I am super excited about LabVIEW. Oops, I need my readers. Because, all right, there we go. And it is going to be a comment box. And I'm going to move it. This is the survey that you guys are going to fill out if you want to. Move this question to before. There we go. And then we're going to move it. So I want to thank all of you guys. I've got a couple slides here as well to go through. And I am super excited about LabVIEW because of a lot of things. Like the number one reason I'm super excited about LabVIEW right now is everyone in this room and all the presentations and all the enthusiasm that you guys have had with LabVIEW. Before I get into the survey, I am going to go back to my slides here. And hopefully this will all work as, oops, not from the current slide is the beginning slide. So that should show. Yes, everybody's wonderful faces from NI. So just as a little bit of a disclaimer, there is that Emerson word and Emerson thing is kind of lurking in the air and what does NI think and all this stuff. So right off the bat, I can't say anything about it. If you want to hear directly from Emerson, I would start with their investor call in mid-November, because this was not exactly a friendly situation. They came after NI and they got us, which is great. So the deal will close no later than the end of March 2024. So no later than April 1st, 2024, that's when we'll start knowing stuff and we'll know stuff. So until April 1st, 2024, when we get recommendations from you guys like, why don't you guys improve the academic presence? NI, what if you did this or that? We're not making any major changes in what we're doing today until, if there's any major changes, it will all happen after everything closes. So we have some really good time here to talk about what are some things that we need to see change with LabVIEW and with NI in general. That is part of my disclaimer around, I'm super excited that we got 5 of us out here. We had 7 at GDevCon NA. And so these are the young lady and gentlemen that are all here from NI. If you haven't had a chance to talk to someone from NI and you have some things and comments, please reach out. This is a fun picture of me with my readers, because I can't see squat without my readers. So everybody knows if there's a set of readers floating around somewhere, Nancy left her 5th pair of readers somewhere. Anyhow, just a little bit about me for those of you that don't know me. I did teach my first class, LabVIEW class, in 1989. I was 5. I was a child prodigy. It was black and white. You had to delete the wires to move things around back in the day with LabVIEW. So my career, with a few breaks in the middle, has always been about LabVIEW. It's been about software. I have been a consultant. I have worked outside of NI. I have taught courses. So I have sat in the seat that you guys are sitting in, being outside NI, and sometimes wondering, this makes a lot of sense and is great, or this thing is a little bit confusing about what NI is doing. So I was first female champion in 2008. You cannot be a LabVIEW champion and work for NI. So both Norm Kirchner and I were LabVIEW champions, and then we came back to work for NI, and we got booted out of the champions program. But I suppose Eric Ruffett could change the rules if he wanted to. So anyhow, I worked for NI 3 times. I was a summer intern the summer of 1989, so I think I was like 18 or 19, actually. That's when I taught my first LabVIEW course. Oh, there's a reminder of a meeting that I don't want to go to. Um, and so, and that I'm not going to go to. So, and then I did a couple of other things. I came back to NI for about 5 years, actually probably 7 years. I did sales. I was in the western part of the US. That was back in the day when we would, demo LabVIEW and HPV was out there. And I specifically remember going into my accounts and they would buy LabVIEW. They would buy LabVIEW instead of getting HPV for free. So, and so that was a big fight back in the day. It's like LabVIEW, it was a threat. Is LabVIEW going to survive that particular threat? And we did. And LabVIEW's what, 36, 37 years old, something like that. So my friend Christy Hobbs, and of course you guys know the Fabulous Fab, we did the first LabVIEW certified LabVIEW Summit in Austin. And I don't know whether we'll have another certified LabVIEW summits. We may do certified LabVIEW days attached to GDevCon. I don't know exactly what all this will look like in the future. So I live in Denver, Colorado, foothills of the Rocky Mountains, which looks a lot like the Alps. I love to cook, read. I love riding horses, fly fishing, shooting, scuba diving. If it's outside, I love doing it. And I am NI's first head of developer relations. So historically, National Instruments has always done developer relations kind of informally. And it would be part of, Alan, you did developer relations when you were working at NI. You were working in the community. You were hosting things. So everybody at NI kind of played that developer relations role. And NI's made a few mistakes over the past few years, and we've had a pandemic. But my focus is 100% on ensuring and helping you guys get engaged and connected. So I love the fact that I don't have a quota. I'm just about, helping with events and things like this. What's really important I think to note, because we wonder, okay, where's NI going with LabVIEW, and where's NI's commitment to LabVIEW? Because that question's been popping up, of course, and we need to hear those questions. But the fact that this rec opened in January, I applied in September, and then I managed to win this role. And when NI was not hiring, we had a hiring freeze, this role, head of developer relations, was one of the few roles that NI kept open. It was very, very important all the way up to the executive level to keep this role open. And so that is a really positive sign, I think, with regards to NI's commitment to our developer community. And yes, there's a lot more things that we can do. So the thing I want to mention here real quickly, and I'm already going to let you guys know, I'm going about 4 to 5 minutes over. Alan's going to want his time back, but I think it's important to mention a couple things here. When we look at developers, and when I say developer relations, if there is someone that is using LabVIEW, using TestStand, using Python to connect to hardware, someone who is writing code, that by definition is a developer that I care about. Our developers, when they first come on board, they are, there's information overload, and they're going to attend some events, and they're going to do some things, and sometimes developers just go in the silo and they just stay in their silo. What we're really focused on is that we want active, engaged developers. That's you guys. That is the individuals who are collaborating on the forums. You're doing something outside of just writing your code. And so my focus is I want to grow the active and engaged community. I want to double it, triple it, whatever it takes. And a key thing here is that there's also the committed group, and that committed group would be that would be Richard, that would be Chris, that would be Steve Watts. Those are the individuals that are running user groups, creating these events, because from a business perspective, so when NI wants to increase the renewal rates for the individual who is an active and engaged could be up to 40% higher than someone who's just siloed. That's just an industry number. So when I present this particular slide, and this is a slide out of my standard deck, that is part of the value proposition to NI. And all of us in the community, we sell, we market, NI's products. And so this thing is moving faster. I didn't even touch it. It just moves. So, and so this is part of my goal, my numbers. I want us to have more active and engaged, committed developers. I care about LabVIEW, and I care about you guys being successful. Throughout my career, my priority has always been the community, and the LabVIEW community in particular, and doing what I can to enable the community. That's my number one priority. And so helping grow this community is absolutely key. Now, NI's made some mistakes. So this is a slide that I share internally as well. And if we look at, NI, you could say, okay, for the last 5 years, we have been not engaging, we have been disengaging with the community. And it doesn't look pretty. And so I go and look at how many sessions did we have at NI Week 2019 that you all wrote and you all created. There was probably at least 150, plus a lot of all the other events that were going on. Tons of ways for you guys to learn, connect. And then we roll into 2022. There was one session at NI Connect that I would call a developer session, because it wasn't given by an NI marketing person. It was given by Stephen Loftus-Mercer, a developer for developers. So we went from hundreds of opportunities to, as far as events are concerned, to one. Then on active user groups, and you guys know you're struggling with your user groups, and we want to get our user groups going again, and you'll get, we'll talk about that more in a minute. But GDevCon, okay, I don't know why this sometimes does this. Oops, wrong direction. GDevCon last year in Denver, Colorado, it was not fun. This year, there was so much more enthusiasm, and we had a lot of young developers. And so in a lot of ways, the energy has flipped, but we still have some more things to do. And the trust is not as good as it should be. And so my focus for the first half of the year, and it will be through the end of this year, is what else can I do to help shore up the base as far as assisting with user groups. I'll be more hands-on on that. Communicating your feedback back to corporate. What can we do as far as our ni.com/community, but really shoring up our LabVIEW base has been absolutely key, and that will always be foundational moving forward. With regards to a couple highlights that I am excited about, GDevCon, from an NI perspective, this is our developer event. So NI's event strategy, and who knows what it's going to be April 1st, 2024. But until then, NI really scaled back, and our main event was and is NI Connect, which is primarily a networking event. And then there are various regional events done by the BUs. And so what's great is Eric Reffett set a good precedent, and we're sponsoring all of the GDevCons. I'm going to all of the GDevCons, and we're starting to email to our database. And the email that is talking about GDevCon, Australia, New Zealand, it went out on September 19th, I think, through the entire Pacific Rim. That's really important to be able to get communications about what we're doing out to our database. We will continue to sponsor the GLA Summit. There is a new kind of conference called the Unconference. We're going to try to do this. Sam Taggart's doing it. Malcolm, where are you? I think you're talking to Sam about this a little bit, right?
Yeah, but it's more business related rather than LabVIEW coding related.
I'm okay with that too. But we'll talk more on that. But we want to have a different type of conference as well. And then there's also, we're doing the Programming Essentials track at NI. So if you have a team, or if your customer has a team of engineers and they really need to grow in their development, that's what the Programming Essentials track is about. It might not have the most advanced content, but it will have good content. And so last year, or I say NI Connect 2022, there was not a Programming Essentials track. It was just Stephen Mercer, one session. This track that we had this year in 2023, 2 rooms, we'll do it again, 2 rooms, standing room only every single time. So there is going to be great content for your peers when you do make it to NI Connect. So growing user groups, and then we're also going to explore doing some LabVIEW hands-on and LabVIEW developer days. You can talk to me offline on that. Thank you, Steve Watts, for and Derek Balmerito, who is not here, for the amazingness that you guys are doing with the Community Training Initiative. Find out information on that on the Discord channel. That's going to enable us to do more, to start doing LabVIEW hands-on again. Anybody remember the old LabVIEW hands-on? Oh yeah, that was huge. That might be able to help out with academic. I don't want to talk about academic right now. So I would love to see us change our philosophy there. All right, I think I've only got a couple more slides, which is great. So Alan won't completely behead me here soon, since that's kind of one of the things that happened here back in the days in Scotland and UK and everything else.
I left my sword at home.
Yes, excellent. So opportunities to collaborate. If you have not heard about Measurement Link, Measurement Link is an initiative that started in our semiconductor business unit, and the intent is to start building out libraries of measurements. So somebody would just download a measurement, and from an NI marketing perspective, it will come across as, oh, NI is trying to do that low code, no code thing again. And so NI, when we market, we haven't figured out marketing to developers, which is different than marketing to customers. When we market to customers, we're talking about value propositions, a lot of the high-level outcomes and things like that. Marketing to you guys as developers, I hope we start to mature this, is completely different. You don't want to be sold to. You don't want to be sold Measurement Link. You want to know, okay, what's the technology behind Measurement Link that might help me do this other thing? And so at corporate, that's one of the things that we're slowly learning. And so Measurement Link is this new thing. It's going to be released Q2. We're going to look for people who want to build some measurements in Measurement Link and learn a little bit about it. I think there's a lot of stuff I love about Measurement Link and will be pretty powerful. So Matt Ballum is doing that. Matthew Friedman, my former manager, he is doing the generative AI for LabVIEW. And you can go to the keynote, and so you can see, Nigel's generating, some LabVIEW code. So I tend to be very transparent. And then my former manager, Matthew Friedman, is very buttoned up. And so I said, Matthew, all this cool stuff that I'm hearing and seeing that we're doing with generative AI and LabVIEW, that it can automatically go do this and it can automatically go do that. And Matthew's like, don't talk about it. Just point him to the keynote. So we're not talking about a lot of the details yet, but in the survey that I point you guys to, you can sign up to kind of participate in this. This is so huge and so revolutionary on what we're going to finally be able to do. And so instead of me just going, hey, ChatGPT, create a Python code that will talk to a Keithley multimeter, I'm going to tell LabVIEW to do that and to do a whole lot more stuff. So I'm super duper excited about where this will potentially head. So finally, I will post this in the, and I'm at 16:48 minutes, sorry about that. I will post this in the Discord. And so this is a survey, and I'm first going to ask you, tell me about where you are. Are you a partner? What kind of partner are you? How are you using LabVIEW? Just the basics. And then I'm going to get in the questions I really want to hear about. So why are you excited about LabVIEW today? And then the next question is really important, because that question says, and it's a scale from 0 to 10, so this is like a NPS score, 0 to 10. I am confident in NI's commitment to LabVIEW. 0, strongly disagree. 10, strongly agree. I want honest answers on that. And then you'll have an opportunity to explain your answer. And then I want to hear, what is the most important couple of features that you want in LabVIEW? So, so wherever Pete, if Pete's still in here somewhere.
Nancy, we're going to have to give you 30 seconds, please.
30 seconds. When you answer the questions, thank you for cutting me off, because otherwise I might keep going. When you answer the detailed question on features in LabVIEW, be specific. Don't just say I need better CI/CD. Say, I need LabVIEW to do this thing and have this kind of integration with Azure DevOps. Be very, very specific on the features that you want to see in LabVIEW and the benefit, because I've got to convey that back to corporate. You guys will help Eric and I tremendously, and she's cut off. Thank you, guys.